Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today's video is a new release product launch by Light Elegance. But before I get into this new collection, I'm going to take you back in time. Let's say about 30 years. What do these phrases and pictures remind you of? Let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? That's right, the 80s, the best decade in history as far as I'm concerned. The 80s were great for big hair, as you could tell, but also great for music like Aerosmith, Bon Jovi, Cinderella, Skid Row, Poison, and my all-time favorite 80s rock band, Def Leppard. But also the 80s was great for movies like Back to the Future, Flashdance, Pretty in Pink, and my all-time favorite, Top Gun. So when I saw that Light Elegance was doing an 80s themed collection, I was over the moon excited about this collection. Forever 80s is the new Buttercream collection for the summer of 2021. The colors are very summertime, very bright. So if you want to step back into the 80s a little bit further, just keep on watching. I have to admit, when Creative Beauty sent me this collection to review and I opened up and saw these colors, I was immediately taken back to the 80s and just back to that decade where everything just seems so much simpler and happier. I went through high school in the 80s. I got married in the 80s. I was more into rock than I was the synthesizer type poppier music. Hence what you're hearing on this video. Not that I would ever want to go back to the 80s for their fashion sense, but there just is something to be said about big hair, acid wash jeans, and classic 80s hairband music. Those were the days. But enough about that, let's get into these colors. There's 6 brand new buttercreams. We have leotards and leg warmers, bitchin', totally tubular, big hair, don't care, super freak, and fresh to death. So the first one we're going to take a look at is called Big Hair Don't Care. And yes, I had to start with that one. I had the big hair. I didn't think I did in the 80s, but I did. This is a nice salmony peachy kind of color. It's more on the neutral side, so I would say this is a softer salmon color, and it's not a bright neon color. So for those clients that really like those soft colors, Big Hair Don't Care is perfect for that. Now, I do want to mention that when you stir or agitate these buttercreams, the viscosity thins out, so you get a really nice thin application when you stir the pot, so to speak. And I didn't really need 2 coats of this buttercream, but I want to be consistent in all my videos and put 2 coats on. So this is what Big Hair Don't Care looks like after it's been cured, each layer for 30 seconds. This is a really, really pretty peachy salmon color. I like this one. For those days that you just don't feel like being bright and bold, this one's perfect. So let's compare this to some other colors. Ugly Duckling Color Gel number 9 is a little bit lighter. Light Elegance Delightful Days a little bit pinkier. Light Elegance What's Happening Captain is more rose toned. En Vogue's Flamingo doesn't compare at all. What's in Your Basket by Ali is a little bit darker. So let's move on to Totally Tubular. We never said that in the 80s. Not where I grew up. But anyways, this is a really pretty turquoisey teal. Turquoisey teal? Sure, why not? It's a nice turquoise color. It goes on in one thin layer. You can put it on in one thin layer and get a full opaque look. But to be consistent, I will put on 2 thin layers. And it goes on so nice. I have to say so far that the consistency of these buttercreams have been consistent, but we'll see what it's like when I start stirring and swatching the rest of the colors. And this is what Totally Tubular looks like after 2 coats. Very pretty. And it's actually a color I wore a lot in the 80s, believe it or not. Like eyeshadow and eyeliner. This was my go-to color. But let's do some color comparisons and see what I have similar or not similar in my collection. I have En Vogue's Tropicana is a little bit more green. Ugly Duckling number 37 gel polish, that one is super close. Ellie's Midsummer's Night doesn't compare, and En Vogue's Menta doesn't even compare. So let's move on to Fresh to Death. I've never heard this phrase before, never in my life. That one's new to me. So this is what I would call a neon lime green. This one is so summery. It's got a yellow undertone to it. It goes on really nice, you guys. It doesn't shadow as much as I thought it was going to, but after you put the second layer on, it is so opaque. I did not struggle using this color. Being a lighter color and a neon, I thought it was going to shadow and streak, and it didn't. And putting the second layer on, it just made this color pop even more. This one is absolutely stunning. And this is what Fresh to Death looks like after 2 layers. This one is so beautiful. I can't get over it. I would actually wear this on all 10 nails if I was feeling adventurous. This is definitely a happy pick-me-up kind of color, and to me it just screams summertime. Okay, let's compare this to Magpie Beauty's Tinkerbell. This one is a little bit darker. Lacquet's Margaritaville. This one is almost identical, with the exception En Vogue's Lacquet is a soak-off gel, the Buttercreams are a hard gel. And we have Ellie's Sublime Lime, that doesn't really compare. And Ugly Duckling number 170, that's a little bit darker. And that's all I have actually to compare to Fresh to Death. So let's move on to Super Freak. Now, every time I see this name, it reminds me of the song, and I'm not going to sing it. But this is like a medium peach color. So kind of medium peach color, in between a light and a dark peach. Oh my goodness. This is not what I would consider to be a neon orange at all. I would say it's got more peachy tones to it. And with being a lighter color, it went on with no streaking or shadowing. And again, this is another beautiful summertime color. This almost reminds me of a popsicle orange, an orange popsicle orange. Ooh, my Yoda. This is a summertime peach. That's the best way I can describe this. And I definitely would wear this on all 10 fingers. I'd even put this color on my toes. This one is really, really pretty. Okay, on to the color comparisons. We have Lacquet Teeny Bikini. That's close, but shade darker. Orange Nectar by Magic Gel. That is almost identical. Ugly Duckling Gel Polish number 2 is a little bit more neon. I Melt For You Buttercream is more of a deeper coral. Let's Get Together has got more rosy tones to it. Ugly Duckling number 175, no. Don't Be Such a Pansy's got more pink to it. Ellie's Sunrise Roundups, a little bit darker, and it's got a bit of a shimmer to it. So let's take a look at Bitchin'. And Bitchin' is a rose colored, I would call this like a lipstick rose. And this is the pink in the collection. I thought this one was going to be a little bit more neon, but it's not. And there is a slight blue undertone to this color, which is kind of cool for a rose toned color. And with the second coat on, you get a really nice opaque coverage, and this color pops. This one actually surprised me. Again, like I said earlier, I thought it was going to be more of a neon pink, but it's a softer pink, which I think more people will be able to wear. And this is what Bitchin' looks like on my skin tone, which is quite fair. This is really, really pretty. I think this is a color you could wear all year round. Okay, let's see what kind of pinks I have that might compare. Let's start with this one. This is Ugly Duckling number 125 is too dark. Sure, let's start with one that doesn't compare at all. Magpie Beauty Jumping for Joy. No, that's more neon. Number 186 from Magic Gel is brighter. Light Elegance P Plus True Love. That is super similar, maybe just a tad darker. Ugly Duckling 156 doesn't compare, and Peony Whispers darker. So let's move on to the last one called Leotards and Leg Warmers. This is is a pale yellow. Would I call this a pastel yellow? I think it's a tad darker than a pastel yellow. I think pastels have more white in them. And as I'm swatching this, I do see that I do need to build it up into 2 thin layers, and you get a really nice opaque coverage with 2 layers, I found. So I was quite impressed with this yellow, because we all know how light colors like light pinks and light yellows, they are hard to get an opaque look with 2 thin layers. You don't want to be bulking the nail out with 3 and 4 layers of color. So this is what leotards and leg warmers look like. This is a soft, I would say this is more of a spring color, a soft yellow, not really a pastel, but almost. And just, I'm not too sure if this one belongs in the collection. So let's do some comparisons and see what kind of yellows I have that are similar or not similar. The first one is number 70 from Magic Gel. That's a little bit darker. We have Sunkissed from Light Elegance. That's darker. Buttercup from En Vogue is Buttercup. Ugly Duckling Color Gel number 3 has got more yellow in it. So it's almost looking like leotards and leg warmers is pastel. So let's recap this collection and I'll tell you what I think. The name of the collection, Forever 80s, is just right up my alley. I love that there are some bright colors in here. So Fresh to Death, the lime green is brighter, and the orange, which is Super Freak, is a nice bright color. The pink is a little bit more subdued, but it's still bright enough. And then you have 2 subdued colors, the leotards and leg warmers, which is the yellow, and then the first one that we looked at, Big Hair Don't Care, that's quite neutral. And then Totally Tubular is this turquoise teal color that almost should be in a fall collection, and then the 2 outside colors should be in the spring. So this one I don't think is completely summer, but yet it really depends on what your taste is, right? Not everybody wants the bright in your face bold colors. Some people want the more subtle colors. So there's a little bit of everything in here for everyone. I would have liked to have seen some more neon colors, like a neon purple and blue. The 80s were just so bright and vibrant, and with the exception of a few colors, I think this collection has just fallen short a little bit for me. So what are your thoughts on this collection? Did you wish to see different colors for the summertime? Are there colors that are missing in your opinion? Or is this exactly what you wanted to see for a summer collection from Light Elegance? Let me know, comment down below. And as always, don't forget to follow me on all my social media. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you again soon. Bye guys.